Okay, well, hello everybody. Hey, it's great to have you with us on this special call tonight. My name is Wendy Kramer, for those of you that don't know me, but everybody should on this call, I think. We are so excited about the guest that we have on this call tonight. I have been doing a lot of coaching with TyTribble. He is probably the #1 blogger in network marketing. So he's been doing it longer than I think anyone else. I think Ray Higdon is the one that called him the granddaddy of network marketing blogging. But he is very well known around the world and in the whole social media realm. And I hired him as a coach in about September because I was going to all of these social media type courses, and then I had a pile of information and didn't know what to do with it. So I asked Ty if he would help me kind of sort through it, get online. And as you can see, I've been doing that. And I want to tell you a story because tonight we're going to talk about how to recruit on Facebook without scaring off your friends and family. But you know, I started blogging. I've started my website and doing some Facebook Lives. And yesterday, or a couple of days ago, I had a gal who just Facebook messaged me and said, you know, hey, I met you back in 2005. I was at a Mannatech event, and I was totally trying to find you, hadn't been able to find you, and she'd never gotten on Mannatech products, and now she decided she needs to start doing something for her health. And I get on the phone with her, and she says, I don't know how to ask you this, but do you think I could build this business too? Could I make some money at this? So she's coming in. Actually, she may be on the call tonight. She was on our training call last night, just kind of kicking the tires, and was going to come back on tonight too. But that's just the power, just the short amount of time that I haven't even really been digging into all the things Ty's told me to do yet. But already I've got someone who actually tomorrow we're meeting, and she's going to sign up as an associate. So really cool. And Facebook works. And so we want to just welcome Ty. He's been my coach. I want to share him with you. He is highly recommended even by people like Ray Higdon and Orrin Woodward and lots of others. So he's got lots of good stuff to share with us tonight about Facebook. So get out your pens and paper, and Ty, I'll give it over to you.
Well, thank you, Wendy, so much. I appreciate that. And first, I just want to say what an incredible honor it is to be on this webinar with such amazing leaders. And I just feel extremely humbled that you are here to listen to me, because it could easily be the other way around. I feel like with the folks, the leadership, and the Mannatech folks on this call. So I just appreciate that. So let me do this. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to jump right in and have some fun here. I've got some slides, and then we're going to hop on over right onto Facebook and show you what I'm doing. And I think you're going to be excited about this, because one of the things I wanted to make sure that people really get a good understanding of is that you know, you don't have to be like this incredible tech wizard to take advantage of social media. So let's jump in, and I'll show you what I've been working on. Okay, let me do this. So I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to click present. All right. Excuse me. There we go. Whoop. Perfect. Okay. So can everybody see what's on the screen now?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can.
Okay, cool. So tonight's really all about getting you up to speed and utilizing social media to get your business moving in the right direction. So we're going to skip a lot of the things that are like fluffy stuff and get right into the fact that you can start tonight if you wanted to, certainly tomorrow, to begin connecting with people and building your business utilizing social media. And specifically, we're going to talk about Facebook. Okay, this is not moving for me. Hang on here. There we go. So I'm going to give you some internet marketing fundamentals tonight. And I like to kick off with a big idea, and then I'm going to share some other ideas with you. So if you ever see me do a webinar, most of the time you're going to see a big idea that I want you to really get in the front of your brain, and then we're going to dig into details of the big idea. So the big idea tonight is really all about opening doors, okay, and connecting with people that you might have otherwise not connected with. So again, we're not here to teach you how to become some techie guru person, right? That sits at home in your underwear with a laptop on your lap trying to recruit people all day long. Here's a couple of reasons why. One, doesn't really work that great. I found that really, truly utilizing the skills that have been taught over the years in network marketing in terms of people skills and connecting and still reaching out. And if I've got someone local here to me, I don't do a webinar with them, okay? I get together with them one-on-one at a coffee shop and sit down. And I might invite them to a webinar later, but I love to get face-to-face with people. So don't think that utilizing today's technology is really all about, again, sitting at home with the laptop on your legs, because frankly, if you're in your underwear and you got a laptop on your legs, they get very hot. And so it's not the best idea in the world to do for many reasons. But make sure that you just grasp that we're not talking about like having to reinvent the wheel, okay? We're talking about some fundamental stuff that you're going to be able to grasp, and you're going to go, oh, this sounds super familiar. All we're doing is taking what is probably super familiar to you and utilizing today's technology to expand it to a point where you will not run out of leads. Okay, every single person on this call tonight will never run out of leads again if you just listen, okay? So here's the question. Number one is, how many Facebook friends do you have? Okay, because most people, 300, 500, 600, some people 1,000. I think I've got like 4,700. I've gotten rid of a bunch over the years. And like at one point, it was just a big race to see how quickly you could get Facebook friends. And then I came to the conclusion that that's not the best idea in the world. But, people say, oh, I don't have anybody to talk to, yet they've got 700 Facebook friends, right? This is sometimes there's things right in front of your face and we just don't really look at them through the right lens. So think about if someone says, oh, I don't know who to talk to about my business. First question out of my mouth would be, how many Facebook friends do you have, right? And most of the time it's a lot. And so our goal is to really engage with people, okay? And we're going to do that in a number of different ways. A couple of ways are more subtle and are more long-term, and a couple of them are right now, let's hit it, okay? Right now we want to begin to sponsor people into our business, because that's what's going to, push that growth 3 to 6 months from now is the people we sponsor today. Again, hopefully not telling you anything different that you haven't heard before. So let's talk about 3 steps to Facebook success. Okay, so number 1, I'm going to ask you to post more often. Post more often. Most of the time, if you're posting once a week, let's up that to maybe once a day. If you're posting once a day, maybe let's go to 2 to 3 times a day. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what to post as well, give you some ideas at least. But we want you to get out there in front of people more often. It's no different that if I was, I'll give you an example, literally what I used to do in network marketing. One time, at least once a week, I would run my car down to about as little gas as possible, and then I would go get gas in the evening after working my job. And my whole goal was not to get gas. My goal was to see how many people I could connect with at the gas stations, because it was really easy if I was pumping gas in my car to say, hey, I kind of like your car. What year is that? It was easy to start up a conversation. So I'm basically trying to collect business cards so that I could then go on and give them a call, invite them to a meeting and that kind of thing, right? So I would literally go and put $1 of gas in about 12 different gas stations in the night. Okay, this is how we used to build the business, which sounds totally crazy, but it worked, and I was able to connect with a lot of people. So if you compare it to what we can do today, just post stuff, and we'll talk about what we post, but if you post more often, it's going to get in front of more eyes, okay? You want more eyeballs seeing your stuff. Here's 4 powerful Facebook facts for you. Images get 39% more engagement. So if you're posting something on Facebook and you put an image with it, more people will like it, particularly if the image is of you, your family, food, things of that nature, okay? Shorter posts get 23% more interaction. Okay, engagement on Facebook, in other words, you get more likes and more comments, highest on Thursday and Friday for whatever reason. So if you think I'm going to take Friday off, it's probably a good idea to post on Friday. And questions get 100% more comments than just statements. Okay, so if you ask a question on Facebook, and you're going to get more engagement, more comments. And when people engage with your stuff, by the way, you begin to show up more in their timeline. Okay, and I feel like Facebook has kind of whittled the timelines down a little bit more lately. You're seeing a lot of the same people over and over again. It's probably because they've engaged with you and you've engaged with them. So I'm going to teach you how to get out of that kind of box a little bit, and bring some other people into engagement as well too. So how to build rapport with your posts. We've talked about, some ideas of posting more often. Now let's talk about how do you get people engaged? And that's really, again, it's building rapport. And I want you to think about the type of people you'd like to sponsor in your business. Somebody who's high energy, someone who, maybe got a positive mental attitude about life in general, right? So people that respond to positive quotes, that respond to motivational type quotes, that respond to inspirational stories, occasionally how-to marketing. I'll occasionally do something on a how-to type thing because I've got a lot of people in the network marketing space that follow me on Facebook. So I know that those people are looking for tips every once in a while, right? And that's personal to my timeline, may not be personal to your timeline, but whatever your niche is, and this is something, Wendy and I have talked a lot about is, get in your zone, get in your niche, get in within your passion, and then go after it. And that's exactly what she's done, exactly why she's, getting tons of interaction and a lot of people watching her videos and all that kind of great stuff, and tons of action on her blog. And then personal, family, team stuff. Okay, you have your team over to your house. Did you just take a trip to Hawaii with a bunch of leaders? Did you what are you doing in your life? Especially if you have attained a level of success in network marketing, don't be afraid to kind of post about your daily life, because here's what's interesting. That will be incredibly attractive to people, especially if they're sitting at work in their cubicle looking at what you're doing. I may post that I went to a new organic grocery store in Seattle, but I went at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 11 a.m. And I would probably make a point that, hey, I'm not on my lunch hour, because my lunch hour is all day, right? I get to choose and make my own hours because of the profession that I've chosen to, the career I've chosen, path I've chosen. So don't be afraid to post things. You might think, oh my gosh, nobody wants to see me, pictures of the tomatoes I'm picking out, but there's psychology behind showing some tomatoes that might look interesting because of the time when you're posting. And if you just weave in a little bit of freedom into what you're doing, it can be very interesting. Again, continuing on with rapport, entertainment, comedy, trivia. My whole goal, and again, I may be different than some folks, but my goal on Facebook is to make people smile, make them laugh. Okay, because I feel like if I can make someone smile and make them laugh, that when I reach out to them through Facebook Messenger, they'll think of that. Oh, that's the guy that's always posting something funny to make me smile. Okay, so my whole goal is to make them smile, laugh, think about something in the past, that maybe nostalgia. I like to post, when it comes to trivia, I like to post stuff about 80s music, okay? Having to be my generation. And I get a lot of people really that look forward to it. And I didn't post some for a while. All of a sudden, people will be like, where's your 80s trivia stuff, right? And so, just, it doesn't have to be whatever you choose. It doesn't have to be my stuff, but you can get an idea of just some different things. This is an interesting one, but controversy will build rapport with people. Like if there's, like, let's talk politics for a second. I prefer not to post about politics for the most part, because no matter what, in today's world, you're going to make 50% of the people angry. And 50% of the people are going to be happy, but the other 50% are going to be like, oh, I'm never going to talk to that person again. So I choose to steer clear of politics, but it does, the 50% that are happy would probably welcome you, right? So, but you have to be careful with that. And then, like I talked about earlier, success and social proof. Team first, personal stuff second, I would prefer, if you think about that, because it just shows some humility in terms of what you're posting. And there's a kind of a fine line between letting people know that you are successful in the business and kind of bragging about how successful you are, or how great the company is, right? Now, here's what I want you to note. Nowhere in there does it say that I post about Mannatech being the best products in the world. Okay, are Mannatech the best products in the world? I believe that there is, without a doubt, no question that they are. But my philosophy when it comes to posting about Mannatech, I on occasion, if I'm in Hawaii, I'll say, look at the cool trip Mannatech sent me on. Most of the time, I'm leaving off the name of Mannatech, and here's why. And I've been accused of being somebody that's not proud of Mannatech, which is completely opposite. I'm incredibly proud of Mannatech. But you know what? I want to tell the Mannatech story. Okay? I don't want Google to tell the story. If I'm talking to someone about a product, I don't want them to go on Amazon and buy the product because they just didn't realize that there's a connection between the product and it's something that I happen to be marketing or selling. Okay? But the Mannatech story, because there's really a lot of good, even in the parts of Mannatech story that are not as positive as you might think. And let me explain that, because I think this is a really important piece of the puzzle with Mannatech. Mannatech is in an incredible position to have gone through the fire when it comes to product claims. Okay? There are a lot of companies that have not gone through the fire when it comes to product claims, so they don't know what to say. So I'd like to tell that story. As a matter of fact, when I talk to someone for the first time about Mannatech, I tell them, I said, this company is so good that they got in trouble about 10 years ago for talking about what their products actually do in a way that's non-compliant with the government. Now, if you say, there's certain things you just can't say about the government with regards to the government. I would say, like, even though an apple is extremely good for you and provides a certain amount of vitamin C, and vitamin C has known to combat that's an antioxidant and all this kind of things. You could connect the science to it. You can't say an apple fights inflammation, or all of a sudden an apple is going to be on the FDA list. They're going to come after you, right? Even if you made an apple into a product. You understand what I'm saying? You just can't go down that road today. And so when I talk to someone, I tell them up front, look, their products are so good that there were a lot of claims about what they would do, and no matter whether the claims were true or untrue, I believe they were true. You just can't say it, and people kind of get that today. So all of a sudden, what have I done? I've completely wiped out the fact that there's information about the Attorney General coming after Mannatech for $6 million, because I told them up front. See, we just wiped out that. So they go to Google. A lot of people will hide that fact, but you can't hide in today's world. People will go to Google and search for it. And so this is why I want to tell the story. So being in a position today, I say, look, they've gone through the fire. Now, they basically have been a couple $100 million company even after that, fire that they were put through. So they know exactly how to manage the whole idea of product claims and things of that nature. So you're extremely protected, especially when you're talking to a network marketer who's been through some stuff. They'll go, wow, that's pretty cool. Because people in the industry know that companies are targeted for a number of different reasons. Just an attorney general with a stick in their rear, even though the law is the best way to describe it is some companies get away with it, others do not. Why they target particular companies, who knows? But we've been through that. We have a great understanding of what not to say anymore, which I think is a huge opportunity to talk to other network marketers who've been around a bit, but also to get that out of the way and explain it in that particular way, so that when you talk to people about Mannatech, they know what they're going to see online already, right? But so that's part of the philosophy behind not talking about Mannatech up front. I like to control that conversation, and I found that everybody I've talked to that way, I haven't lost a single person. I have lost people when I wasn't as upfront as I thought I maybe should have been, because they'll go online and see stuff and then be like, oh man. But even today, I want you to think about, like, I think Herbalife was fined like $400 million. $6 million fine, whatever Mannatech got, was a ridiculously small amount that sent the distributor force into a tailspin for a while. But then everything leveled off because the products are that darn good. Okay, you can't beat them down because people are looking for those products every single day. So I want to control the story. I suggest you control the story as well too.
Hey, Ty.
So, yeah.
Hey, before you go on, and we had a question there, and I think it fits right what you were just saying. Amanda's asking, on your profile, do you say on your profile that you work with Mannatech?
No, I do not. Nope.
Okay. All right, great. Thanks.
Yep. Now let me back up a couple of feet. That's my personal philosophy. I'm not necessarily involved with you. If I'm not in your upline, you need to talk to your upline about this topic as well. Okay? Maybe they'll agree, maybe they won't, maybe they'll have other ideas about it. And here's why you need to talk to them. They are financially involved in your business. They have a financial interest in seeing you succeed. I'd love to see you succeed, but your success is not my success. Your success is their success, and their success is your success. Okay, so I would always defer to your upline when it comes to a question of that nature. Every time. And every time you should side with your upline, not side with me, because I'm not going to I'm not going to do three-way calls for you. I'm not going to do webinars for you, other than things like this. In other words, I'm not going to show the presentation for you. Okay? So the most important person in your business is your upline. Downline, come and go. Your upline is always there. Okay? Comment and like. Okay? Comment and like.
Hey, Ty, can you hear me?
Yep.
Just a bunch of people are saying, well, all right, what do you say? Business owner, entrepreneur, do you have a favorite one?
I think it changes. I've liked entrepreneur for a while. With me, I say internet marketer, dad.
Yeah. Anything but.
Yeah. I just don't think I
agree with it totally, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think it serves us really, because, like I say, I mean, like if I posted about a product on Facebook, okay, boy, I'm really loving this shake. If I'm not crystal clear that I'm selling that shake, that person could go to eBay. That person could go to Amazon. We just don't know. So that especially a new person, they just, you know, and maybe you explained it in the past, but you know, is somebody really going to go look at you beside your name and see where you're working just to make sure that that product that I can't get it from that person? Because most of the time you don't even think about it, especially younger people today. They just automatically go to Amazon. They automatically go there and you know, get it from them. We want them to get it from us. So when I post about something, which I would post about a shake, I'm gonna word it in a way and try to make it as crystal clear as possible. That I'm aligned with that company and that they can get it from me. Okay, like I'm part of a challenge or something like that. And maybe challenge is overdone these days, but something like that. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we want to do to continue that engagement is like and share. Or I'm sorry, comment and like and share. So comment and like. I think, let me pop up that next slide. My mouse is going crazy. I apologize. Oh, here we go. Want to stand out? Like this guy. This guy is standing out, right? Here's how you do it. The average Facebook post gets 1 like. If you are that like, maybe that comment, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb in a good way. In a good way, okay? The next piece of this puzzle is to send a message. Okay, so we're going to like and comment, and then we're going to send a message. So let's get specific here. Those are generalities, I should say, but let's get specific. So here's the strategy. You navigate to the bottom of your Facebook friends list, okay, which I've done that on another screen that I'm going to show you in a second. So we'll actually walk through the process. So navigate to the bottom of your friends list. For some, it'll take a while. It took me a good solid 15 minutes to because you can't somehow just scroll down. It scrolls down, then you got to catch up, and you scroll down some more, and you got to catch up. It took a while. Okay. Number one thing you do, so we're gonna pick a person, and we're gonna like and comment on their wall, on their pages. And if you haven't read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People, or you haven't read it in the last year, I would suggest you pick it up and read it again. Amazing book. And again, the strategies are in that book are everything we're doing to applying to social media. Okay, everything applies. And there's a lot of other great books, but the classics are so important. And just, I mean, it never fails. You can always tell when someone's really on it reading these books. So day 1, comment and like. Day 2, we send a message. Okay? Day 1, comment and like. Day 2, we send a message. Here's the icebreaker. Hey, first name, I always insert their name. Your post made me, and here's two, you can think of more if you like, made me crack up, or even better, made me think of a cool thing. Something from your past, something personal, something that only really applies to you. Okay? I've seen, so there's a guy, a Facebook marketing trainer that teaches people to say essentially the same thing, almost copy and paste to everybody, and just fill up people's messages. And I can always tell that they're on a training whim or webinar series or something, because all of a sudden I got 17 Facebook messages with the same exact verbiage. Okay? We don't want to be that guy. We want to be hey, your post made me think of something that actually happened in my life. And then, thanks, I needed that. How's your day going, right? So we're using a template, but we're inserting individual feelings into each post. Okay? So the key for this whole thing is you are thanking them for their post, right? You're telling them something individual. If it made you crack up, fine, it was a joke, it made you crack up. But if you can go, it made me think of my grandma Lily, who is one of my favorite people in the world. I appreciate that. By the way, how's your day going? Right? How's your day going? We're going to wait for an answer. Okay? We're going to wait for a response. Sometimes you will get none. If that's true, then I would probably do a couple of different things. One, I might reach out to that person again and say something else to see if I can spark something. Two, if I send 2 messages to that person and I get no response, and I don't know them, I'll probably unfriend them. Okay? Because believe me, I don't know all 4,700 of my Facebook friends. I think I reached out to a handful in the beginning, and then they just kind of flowed in because of the book I wrote and the blog and all that kind of stuff, right? So I know that there's people in there that I should be connecting with. But if they're, dead ducks, dead in the water, not responsive, after I've liked some of their stuff, okay, so remember day 1, we liked some of their stuff. Day 2, we compliment them. We reached out. We said something personal. It's not a cookie cutter thing. Still no response. Maybe day 3 or 4, we send another message, and still no response. Maybe after 4 or 5 days, I'd probably just, if I don't know them. If there's somebody from high school that I know, right, then yeah, keep them on. If it's somebody I really know, I'm like, dude, why are you ignoring me? Right? If it's someone I really know, I'd probably send them a different type of message. So think about the individual person. But you're gonna learn a lot from looking at their wall. Also, if it's someone that hasn't had a single post since you've been friends on the wall, you maybe unfriend them as well too. When you keep your friend, list fairly fresh and keep it moving, I think that's good for your own personal logarithm. Okay. Yeah. I mean, how many do you connect with on a day was one of the questions. I would just pick a number. You want to do 5? Do 5. It's going to take a little bit of housekeeping, right? A little bit of paperwork to, and I don't know, maybe you write down a person's initials. Maybe you just keep a log of the people, of the names, where they're at, what they're doing, maybe a spreadsheet, whatever you want to do it. I don't know about your, personality. Sometimes I would just go in and just go crazy and clean up the mess and whatever. But 5 to 10, I wouldn't do more than probably 5 or 10 at a time to start with, especially a day, I should say. But see, if you're doing 5, let's say 5 touches a day. So this would be touching base with people. Here's what's so cool about it. We haven't even got to the point where a person can say yes or no. Because if you go right in for the kill, hey, I represent this amazing product. You need to try it. People will be like, whoa, dude, I mean, we haven't talked in 4 years. What are you doing, right? It's weird. It's a little bit weird to send someone a message out of the blue. But if you go back and look at what we talked about, it's not really a message out of the blue. Okay? Because you previously, maybe the day before, liked or commented on the posts that you're actually going to send them a message the next day about. You see the psychology here? We're actually, I mean, this is not just thrown out there. This is really well thought and thought through. And I know people that have sponsored, I mean, in like a 6-month period of time, added like $10,000 of income to their bottom line by doing this very exact thing. They start at the bottom and they just work their way up. By the time they get to the top of their Facebook page, they literally added $10,000 worth of income. Okay, so absolutely 100% works. Okay, so then we wait for a response. Then, when you get a response back, that's where I use something called form. Okay, if you're not familiar with form, there's different forms of form, but the form that I was taught originally is family, occupation, recreation, and message. Okay, so it's basically questions. Family questions. Do you have kids in school? Do you have kids in college? Depending on their age, you can kind of gauge from. Again, you're going to get hints from their page, right? From their wall, and stalk them a little bit to get an idea. You can look at all kinds of interesting stuff. You look at what they do for a living. You can see some of that stuff. So don't be afraid to use it to your advantage here. What they do for work. One of my favorite questions that I use, if I'm pretty sure they're a network marketer, I love this one. What's got you excited right now? What are you working on? If they're a network marketer and they don't come back in 5 seconds with what they're working on, then you know there's a high probability that they're going to be open. Because what they're working on 12 months ago maybe is not working today for whatever reason. Whether it's company problem, their problem, family problem, whatever. And I would challenge you to not be afraid to go deep in questions like this. If somebody comes back to me and says, yeah, I was excited about that thing, but I've been busy at work and working on other stuff. You know what I'm going to say? What happened? What happened? You were hair on fire, going ballistic. That was, I thought it was going to be huge for you. What happened? Well, my upline. Right? And so there's, you don't want to, you want to be very cautious here. Our goal is not to put down their upline. Our goal is not to put down their other company. But I might say, if things were different for you, would you be open to building right now? If that wasn't the case, if that problem wasn't around, would you be open? If we could solve that problem, in other words, would you be open to building right now? Okay, because we just opened the door. We didn't say anything bad about their company, but we said, if that wasn't the case. In other words, this is a huge point where I would bring in my upline in that conversation. Okay, huge point, because I found that third-party credibility always works better than relying on my own credibility. And here's why. I can't tell someone how good I am at what I do. It sounds funny, right? Oh, you should join me because I'm really good at helping people make money online. It doesn't come out very well. But if I get James Hannon on the line with me, a lot of people say, well, three-way calls, I don't understand them. Let me explain the three-way call. Here's the magic that 99% of people miss on a three-way call. The whole purpose of a three-way call, in my opinion, is to get on there and have my upline tell the person that I've got on the line how good I am. So my upline is going to tell the prospect how lucky the prospect is to be on the phone with me. And previous to that, I built up the upline in such a way that they know they're super successful. They know they've got everything going for them. They know that that's someone they should be listening to. You see how this is like magic. Gang, I sponsored 100 people in 9 months by just getting as many people on the phone with my upline as I possibly could. That was my only goal. And those conversations with my upline typically last about 7 minutes. And when the prospect hung up, we all hung up from that call. They were basically in. And the reason they were in is because then they were much more open to listening to me because of how my upline built me up. It's the magic move in network marketing. So the whole point of the whole three-way call thing is transferring people off of Facebook onto a three-way call. Okay? And remember, many of you, and there's going to be other roads you'll go down with different type of people. But specifically, I've got a lot of network marketers, so I went down the network marketing path. There might be somebody, who wants to lose weight. So then you go down the weight path. And this is where there's science in numbers. So you talk to 5 people a day. You get those conversations rolling. Maybe you get 2 responses the next day. You talk to 5 more. You get a couple more responses. You talk to 5 more. So the science in the numbers, I want to hit this really hard. If you reach out to 5 people a day, that's 25 people a week. It's over 100 people a month. It's 1,200 people a year. You will absolutely 100% sponsor people. Okay, how long did it really take you to send off 5 messages to prospect on Facebook? It doesn't take any time at all, really. And I would challenge you to try to do some of this, after you've made some phone calls. And here's what's really cool: if you're standing in line at a Starbucks and there's a person standing next to you, like, wow, that person is really well dressed and super sharp. They look like the type of person that I would want in my business. Your confidence level after a few weeks of connecting with 5 people a day on Facebook will be up here. It'll be off the charts because you're in the game on a regular basis. And it's one of the easiest things to do in your life. It's not a difficult thing, but you just get in this groove. I often tell people, I said, especially I'm talking to a younger, newer to network marketing audience. They just, that maybe don't know, not younger, I didn't mean younger, but newer to network marketing. They just don't know what we know about network marketing. They haven't been to 20 presidential retreats, right? They haven't seen, people make $100,000 a month by working 6 hours a day in network marketing. So they haven't met the kind of people. They haven't met people who make 6 figures a month that are like, that dude can barely tie his shoes and he makes $100,000 a month. Are you kidding me? If he makes $100,000 a month, so can I. So they haven't been exposed to this philosophy. At some point, your mind gets warped in such a good way that it's hard to explain to people. Like someone says no. I mean, this is the attitude that I'd love for all of you to have, because you have an amazing company. It's going in the right direction in terms of product, Obviously product. There's second to none when it comes to product. Now we're having moving in the right direction when it comes to a compensation plan that people can actually make some money at, some big money in the long run. We have the branding. I mean, gang, when I first looked at Mannatech, you had 17 different bottle colors of like foil. We had gold foil color, we had the green foil, we had the gold silver foil. I'm like, wow, I've just transformed back to 1991. What is going on with this company? Now we have this amazing, incredible branding that's so first class. It's so professional. People get the bottle and they're like, wow, that's really cool, right? So everything is moving in the right direction. We just have to like realize what we have our hands on here at Mannatech. It's such a, it's like, I feel like God sent me here to tell you how good you have it now. And now it's time to go. Let's jump into the next one. Oh, questions. Was it, did that make sense? Everybody? Wendy, is that cool?
Yes, that's really good, Ty. And I think sometimes we do forget just how amazing our company is. We need to be reminded by someone who's been in network marketing and is an expert in that field. So that's cool. Very good. So are you ready to take some questions?
Sure, happy to. Happy
to. If you have a question, if you want to chat, you can put it in the chat box. Let's see. That was really good, Ty. And, I think one thing you said there while we're waiting for people with any questions is that we don't prospect entirely online, that we're still the goal is to get face-to-face with them or over the phone with them.
Yeah.
And be able to do a three-way with your upline. That was really good advice. We love that. So that's really good.
Whenever possible. Again, I mean, this is a people business still.
Mm-hmm.
You will always build faster. Now you can put in numbers online, building a list and all that kind of thing, but you'll always build a more stable long-term business when you really connect with those people. So you can do a lot of cool stuff online, but you still have got to really, you reach out, you make a phone call and you go to their city. I always built a person up to a certain level, figured out that they were a potential leader, and then I was there. Mm-hmm. Well, Roy Goodwin is a good example. He's a guy that 70 years old this year, I think, and just killing it. I think he's a gold director level. I'm trying to still learning all the new levels, right?
Right.
We'll be presidential this year, but met him on the internet, okay, and got him going a little bit. Saw he had potential, and I was in Boston working with him.
That's good. Face to face with him. We have a few questions here, Ty. First of all, Carrie's asking. She says, "I have a business page and a personal page. Do you have pages, or can you talk about the importance of one or two, or what would you say?"
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing was on personal pages, which are, I guess they're called profiles. You can have a business page if you want. I think probably maybe when you get up to a few thousand people on Facebook, maybe you get a business page. Or if you've like launched a blog on a particular topic or something like that, I think business pages should be more topical, in my opinion. Let's say you're really super good at natural, medicinal, you're a super product person. I'll give you an example, okay? About 6 months ago, I went vegan not vegan, plant-based. You say vegan, you think of the crazy people with, that doesn't wear leather shoes. I still wear leather flip-flops. God bless those people, but it's not me. I would eat barbecue tomorrow if my heart wasn't hereditarily challenged, okay? So I think it's a trend. It's a huge trend, as a matter of fact. And I'm preaching to the choir, but when you have a product that is a vegan shake and a vegan weight loss system, fat loss system, and vegan plant-based products in general, I think, are growing something like 5 to 10%. I mean, really, actually, pretty solid growth. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it went from like 5 to 8% of people in the U.S. that are now plant-based. So a 3% jump out of 330 million people is a lot. So I started a Facebook page, business type page or group, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not necessarily an expert on those kind of pages. I would do more research on it. But I started one about plant-based lifestyle and recipes and things of that nature to share.
Okay.
And lo and behold, it's probably not a horrible idea that every once in a while I put a plug in for our vegan shake or plant-based shake.
Good.
So kind of, I would, so my answer in a long way is I would think of a specific reason to have a page. Like you have content specifically because it takes a lot of content to get something going. So if you have specific content, go for it. If you've like started to become online famous and your Facebook friends profile page is over 5,000 people, that's when I started mine, because I couldn't get any more people on that page, so I started another one, right? So those would be the two reasons I would probably start a business page.
Okay, good. All right, good. Paulette's asking too, let's see, where was that one? Can you give a quick overview? You talked about going to the bottom of your Facebook.
Yes, I will.
Kind of go over that one more time for them. I think that was kind of
for sure.
Put into action.
Okay, so let me do this real quick here. I'm going to go to Facebook. And so you want to click, when you're at facebook.com, you want to click on your name, which will take you to your page, right? And then you just want to click on your friends link. And it's going to look like this. You have your friend requests here. You can sort them by recently added and all kinds of different things. So if you're searching for people in your hometown to connect with, or, I mean, goodness gracious, if I'm traveling to see Roy in Boston, I might put Boston here and see other people I connect with in that area. So there's a lot of cool tools here. So this is where you would roll down. So I did it, and I rolled all the way down to the bottom, and here we are. So when I do this, here's what I do. So like Zane Smith, I would open link in a new tab. Okay. Now this should take me to his page. And Isogenics. All right. Good for you. Like a couple things. Now see, with this, I kind of know this guy a little bit. I might say, oh, they allow Star Wars in Canada because he's a Canadian, right? So it's the Solo movie is a Star Wars thing. I'm pointing at it like you can see it. So the Solo movie is a Star Wars thing. So a joke might be, they allow Star Wars in Canada, right? But I wouldn't say that necessarily. But you never know. Something funny, because again, I want to put a smile on their face. He might, that coming from me, he'd probably laugh, right? So, but I like a couple things. I might even go back and comment on this. And that's day one. I'm done with Zane. Then I go on to the next guy. Tom Scott. And for, Mac is different than PC, but I'm basically like right clicking, open link in new tab, going over, doing some research on this person. Beach Boy in Buggyville. Okay. So, Lancaster. So this guy is not far from one of my downline, Hershey, Pennsylvania. He's I think it's pretty close. Lancaster. Anyway, Christian, happy husband, author, dude. So I might like a couple things. I might go send this guy a message. Hey, well, gosh, we haven't connected in a long time, right? So you're just going through, looking at some information, doing a little research, and then going through that process. Like some stuff. Day one, go back next day, click, send them a message. Right?
Ty, it really is kind of like we said about how to win friends and influence people. You're just trying to create a friend, and you're reaching out to people, and you don't just bombard them in the first day you meet them. You just kind of develop a conversation, relationship. So it's really the same thing, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it might even be, let me put it this way. If you have a level of fear with creating the message for people, just like stuff for a little bit, okay? Go to the bottom, open the pages, and like stuff. And maybe make sure you connect 10 a day. So then after a while, maybe you go, okay, liking stuff is not very difficult. Nobody's cut my head off, right? It's okay. And then maybe the next thing you do is send a message. But just get started on it, right? That's what I pray, that everybody just gets started. Because, I mean, look at all these potential Mannatech future customers and associates, right? And I know not everybody's got the same number on my page. But if you have 300, 400, 500, whatever. And I think we talked about this, Wendy, when people, like, I don't know that person, should I accept them as a friend? Okay, sometimes, like, let's just, for giggles, okay, so sometimes I can tell right away. A lot of people say, well, as a woman, I get a lot of Facebook messages or friend requests from men that's weird. Join the club. It's not just women. I mean, I think I put a post on the other day. It was like, who is this person? Okay, so not looking very real to me. If so, why does this 18-year-old want to friend me? There's no reason, right? And I don't have any friends with them. And they appear to be from Brazil, but attending school in San Francisco. This is bizarre. Respond to the friend request. Delete. Okay? So if it looks shady, we delete it. But if they look legitimate and real, then I might friend them. And then, the magic move is, how did we connect? How'd you find me? Because, and here's another thing too. I'm doing some new things online to attract people to my business. I just wanted to see how you found me. Okay, so new things online, attract people to my business. If they are in business, their ears just perked up. Oh, wow. What are you doing online that's attracting people to you? Okay, so that's good. That opens up the conversation potentially. And the other piece of that puzzle is they might say, oh, well, what's your business? There's a strategy in persuasion and influence that there's two ways to go, and you win with both. The president is actually quite good at this. If you follow, it doesn't matter whether you follow the president's politics or not. I follow the president's ability to persuade and influence, which is very, very interesting. And as a business person, one of the strategies he uses is if people go that way, he wins. And if people go that way, he wins. So two options, both are good and winning for you. Same thing in this case. When you say, I'm using a strategy to attract more people to my business. Oh, I have a business. I need a strategy. Or, what's your business? Both good.
Okay, Ty, we have another question here, and then we'll just wrap it up here because we've taken an hour that we said we would. But Carrie's asking, so can you continue, let's say you meet somebody on Facebook, you start a conversation, can you kind of give how you'd walk that through to actually meeting with them and hopefully getting them enrolled in your business? What would happen?
Yeah, I mean, my whole philosophy with that is I'm always looking to be a solutions provider for that person. Okay, so I always found it easier rather than try to sell someone. I always found it a lot easier to just give them what they're looking for. So as an example, we get into our conversation and they say, you know, I've had some health challenges in the last year. I need to lose some weight. Oh, goodness. Me too. I lost 50 pounds utilizing this strategy I can lay out for you. What's a good time we can catch up and I'll lay it all out. I'll lay the whole thing out for you. Okay. Simple. True health. Boom. Done. You know, they might say maybe they're in network marketing and they're looking for a new opportunity. Well, you know, I was with this company and you know, a couple years, but haven't made any money. Oh, really? What do you think has held you back? Okay, again, I'm continuing to ask the questions because then you're in control of the conversation, obviously. But I'm going to get to a sweet spot at some point. And you know, I mentioned the science. The science is put in the numbers. This is the art. Okay, this is what takes practice. Okay, so don't be afraid to practice. Okay, we can wrap it up. This, Wendy. This is like Nick Foles, the quarterback for the Eagles. There was an article, and it's fairly long, but he was quoted in there, and a lot of, I mean, it's like almost verbatim what I work on to teach my children since they were little, and that is success is not winning every single day. There's also failing in success. And we talk about how baseball players, you know, go up to bat, and the best ones in the world get paid $15 million a year, you know, get out 7 out of 10 times. And when you're little, even when you're a little athlete, like my son, the baseball player, that was a hard lesson to learn. But if you can instill that, then you get to the point where you're putting in the work. Now, there's like a book out there called Go for No. I don't know if everybody's ever seen that book. I'm not a go for no guy because I don't want to hear no. So how do I not hear no? I don't hear no very often because I ask enough questions to get to the point where I know pretty much guaranteed that the person's going to say yes because I've done my job. Otherwise, I don't ask the question. So are you afraid of getting a no? That's okay. Me too. I don't like to hear it, but I dig deep enough to either where I'm pretty darn sure I'm going to get a yes, or if they say no, then you know, that's their deal. It's okay, right? But failure is a massive part of success. And so I would challenge everybody to look up what Nick Foles said, because it talked about faith, and it's so good. And I think the Eagles are a praying locker room, so it's pretty darn cool. But yeah, check that out. And that would sum up tonight the training in terms of how to do this and where you're heading and what you can accomplish for sure.
Well, that was great, Ty. Boy, you've just given us a lot. I've taken a lot of notes. I'm sure everybody else has as well. And that Nick Foles thing, I know that I think I got it on your Facebook today, or a email from you or something. So I'll make sure everybody gets to see that too. Put it up.
You got it. It's on my page, but yeah, copy it and
okay.
Sure.
Well, thank you so much. It's been great having you with us. And you guys, this will be up in recordings on our website under the webinars. So teamuptozoom.net, or I mean, sorry, teamuptozoom.com. And just go click on the webinars and you'll see this one there. So Ty, thanks for being with us. Just thanks so much for doing that. And we appreciate you so much.
Oh, it's an honor.
So,
it's an honor. I love you guys, and I can't wait to hang out at the next trip.
We'll do that. We'll hang out on the next trip together. We've been a couple different places with you lately. And
yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You know, you were so kind to my son. He's still... to this day, we talk about it. Being able to go to dinner with you guys, it was so great. So appreciate it.
We had a good time in Hawaii. So awesome. Well, thank you everybody for being on tonight. Thank you, Ty. And
Ty.
God bless everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you, Ty. Refreshing.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.